Hello and welcome back to Myriad Caves CTM. Last time we were at the Forsaken Cliffs and we found that it had a back entrance, the abandoned mines, and so we started exploring the abandoned mines. And so today I would like to go into the front entrance of that area. And I was thinking about it in terms of the 3D space of the map. It's possible that abandoned mines might also connect over to Corrosion, which is a maze-like crazy big area that we only got a look at from the Drizzling Cove. And so I was just thinking about that. I could be completely wrong. I'm just kind of speculating. But I'll meet you guys over at the front entrance of Abandoned Mines, and we'll start from there. The front entrance of Abandoned Mines also has the advantage of being much, much closer than the back entrance. Travel time is becoming a little bit of a problem in this map. I might take some off-camera time and actually build some of my own rail systems at some point. I'm not sure. In any case, we haven't been here in a while. Okay, Lumenspire Cavern, and there's still an emerald that we're missing out of Lumenspire that I still don't know where it is, but I haven't gone back really to try to look in quite a while. And then area Abandoned Mines, Emerald 10 through 13, so it seems like an easy, or kind of an early area, just based on the emerald numbers. Creative names, ha ha ha. And you'll recall, we kind of walked in the entrance to this area, I don't know, a lot of episodes ago. It was quite a while ago. And basically the front area exploded. I set off a trap because I was being careless and I placed a torch on gravel. And there was a huge explosion right here. I was very lucky to have escaped. And since then I've never returned. So now we are returning. Well, I guess I kind of returned when I came in the back entrance, but now we're returning to the front entrance for real. This is the giant hole that got blown up by the TNT. This is a zombie who apparently spawned in the hole. This is me narrating exactly what's happening on the screen. Okay, it looks like there's ways to go that way, and that way. And arbitrarily, I should just choose one, and I'm just kind of going to build my way over, and we'll let this little hole in the ground kind of be a honeypot for monsters. So I'm going to build over to the right, like this. And we'll try to get a foothold right over here. Yeah, this seems like it'll work. I feel like I don't think I'm going to mind if I fall in there, if I'm like backing off from this area. Okay, I just placed a torch on gravel, so let's not do that. It's unlikely that you'd have two of those traps right in a row, but you never know. Part of what makes actually probably most of what makes traps successful is unexpectedness. And so while I have been trying to find patterns to what render is up to in this map, it's still the case that I should be also wary of things that will break those patterns, because those are the things that will cause things to be unexpected, and unexpected is probably most likely to get me. Alright, enough meta theory on traps and map design. Let's get some light on some mob spawners. Oh, this looks like just a little dead end over here. So I guess there's just going to be some loot right here. Can I? Yeah, there we go. I just healed up my pick because the experience that I picked up happened to go into the mending of the pickaxe. Once again, experience that you pick up has a chance of going to any armor pieces with mending or any items that you're holding. I think also items you're holding in the offhand. So if I had like a mending shield, it might absorb the experience I was picking up as well. And so in here, hey, some more bread. That's great, because I didn't even think about restocking. I do have an instant health 2 potion on my bar, just because we have a few of those now, and it seems like they could be very effective if I get myself into trouble. And the golden apples probably would be more effective if I know I'm about to go into a difficult area, because in addition to healing you up like 5 hearts or something, it also gives you regen for a period of time. And so that could be useful for fighting into an area when you know ahead of time that you're about to be getting into trouble. There's still the zombie down here that we left down in the hole. Now we'll continue to leave him down in the hole, because that's where he belongs. That's where he deserves to be. Alright, and so what do we have over here? These cobwebs might get in my way, so I will use silver light to chop them up. And see what we have. Oops, I think I just stepped over there's like a little hole in the ground there that I'm unsure if there's something in it. No, there's not. Okay. But let's be wary of every little bit in the ground, because the terrain in the ground is one of the major things that has concealed traps before. Alright, spawner down. We're moving reasonably straightforwardly and easily through this area, but that's to be expected if this was kind of intended to be an early area and I'm tackling it much later. My armor and gear is probably better than the map maker was expecting me to have by the time I reach this area. Didn't see that one, so we'll go, oops. All right. Ahead and break this. Thank you very much. And we'll try to light this up. And I guess I can probably get at this guy over here. Thank you very much. Nothing's exploding. Seems like it's just another little dead-end area with some more bread. And I guess I'll go ahead and take that since it stacks. Rest of the stuff I don't really need. So I guess that was 2 of the 3 directions we could go at the entrance. So the one more to go is the straight ahead direction, which is over here. Still got some zombies in the hole, that's fine. Oh, hey, now the zombies have just found their way out of the hole because there was a way to climb back up the back side. And so let's go ahead and get rid of these guys. And we're getting some experience bottles and some other zombie drops. There's still a zombie back in the hole now behind me who can probably, yes, climb back up and out. So let's be wary of that. This seems like a good place to stand for the moment. We got a skeleton, we got a creeper. Okay, that was useful because seeing him bounce up and get stuck in the vines makes me realize that that could happen to me as well. And so, to add a little bit of light, but then take care of these vines that I could get stuck in. I guess mainly these. Alright, great. Still trying to keep my eye out for gravel on the floor or the ceiling. Gravel and other gravity blocks. That's also been kind of chief in the traps, and that's been relatively easy to do because most of... Can I say most? I think most. Many of the caverns, in any case. Power 3! Neat. Okay, got myself a backup bow now. Most of the caverns have been kind of stone, cobblestone, smooth stone, and andesite in the walls, and so the gravel kind of blends in very well in that color scheme. I see that there's a spawner here. I just wanted to get some more of those things lit up. Okay, is anybody sneaking up on me over here? No, I think we're safe to go ahead and break this. And so, yeah, using a consistent color theme like that makes it very easy to not so much hide the gravel, but it just kind of blends in, and so you might not notice as easily as you would if the gravel were against some other blocks. And yeah, and so from a map maker point of view, that makes it also just kind of easier to conceal traps just because the gravel... Oh, and that also means you can, you know, just place the gravel everywhere like there already is in this map. And so seeing some gravel just in any given location doesn't necessarily make you think that anything is out of place. And so that's also a good way to make the traps become unexpected. All right, just wanted to get some light a little bit forward up in here. No reason to leave any of these spawners, so we're just going to break them as we find them. And yeah, I think basically just to make sure that I can run quickly away in any of the exits, I'm going to continue to do this. And for those who think I shouldn't use silver light to do it, tough luck. Silver light is Unbreaking 3. It's lasted a very long time. I could probably repair it a couple more times. And while it is a very good sword, and I definitely do want to keep it, I'm also happy to use it to break the cobwebs just so I don't have to put something else on my hotbar in order to manage that. It looks like we're coming up into a new area up ahead. So let's make sure I get all of these things cleared out. And let's try to get some light up ahead. Yeah, okay. This is definitely coming up to a big area. You'll recall when I kind of skipped ahead in the... What was the name of that area? The Forsaken Cliffs. And I put out all the lava on the bottom. There was a place where I saw some sea lanterns, and I was like trying to climb over, and I saw there was a dungeon. But that area had become tedious, and so I didn't feel like doing it, and so I just skipped ahead to the wool. I think... I can't tell what's straight ahead, but I think possibly I see some sea lanterns behind cobwebs over there. Oh, that might actually be an emerald, actually, too. Maybe it's green is the color that I'm seeing over there. But I wonder, this is also just in terms of the layout of the area. I think this might kind of connect over there. And so I wonder if the other entrance from the abandoned, or sorry, from the Forsaken Cliffs is right over there. I saw an Enderman to my right. I think this is a large enough open area that I don't really have to worry about the Enderman kind of catching up to me. But nevertheless, I just want to be wary of the fact that he's over there. Might try to go after him for his ender pearls. Now, this is an interesting loop. What causes baby zombies to do this? I actually want to think about this for a moment. My hunch is that it involves the rails. They like think that this is better, and then they decide that this is better because they don't realize that they're going to be jumping down on top of rails and changing their pathfinding. So my hunch is if I break a rail like that, yes, that changes the baby zombies' pathfinding so they no longer get caught in a loop. Okay, as a software engineer, wow. Okay. I think I learned something there about mob pathfinding with respect to rails that I didn't know before. They want to get near me, and their pathfinding doesn't want to walk from a non-rail to a rail, but their pathfinding will allow them to fall down from a non-rail to a rail. And so if he wants to find me, what does he need to do? He needs to have a pathfinding path that will get to this block, and the only way to do that involves falling from a non-rail onto a rail, and so that's why he runs over there and does that. There might be interesting ways to exploit that in the future, and so that's a little just something that I'm happy to have figured out and keep in mind. Obviously, in another version of Minecraft, that could easily change, because that's kind of, I don't know, a buggy bit of pathfinding, presumably. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, it feels a little bit like doing science and exploration and tactics here inside this map, and I'm sure some people will enjoy that as well. Okay, so we have come into a new crazy area. It has a giant structure. It might have an emerald or something else crazy over there. Where should I go first? I think the first thing I should do is I should see if there's spawners kind of hiding over. Great, right here. Those two guys are going to fight. So we're going to break that spawner while they duke it out. Basically, the structure of these walls and this pile of coal reminded me of the house back in Lumenspire Cavern where there was a creeper spawner and I ended up getting blown up by a creeper while I was looking inside a minecart chest because I was a dummy. And so I suspected that this structure looks similar and there was going to be a spawner hiding inside of it as well. I spent a lot of time talking about exactly what's going on inside my head. I guess it's kind of like part of my style of commentary. And I think it's mostly motivated by the fact that I get frustrated when I watch other people and they're playing a map like this and doing something that I don't know why they're choosing to do it at the moment, and it doesn't seem like it's the correct strategy or the correct thing to go after. And there's never kind of any explanation of what's going on in their head, and so I think I kind of like compensate for that in my own choice of commentary. I don't know how people feel about that overall. Okay, in any case, spawners. We're breaking spawners. We don't like spawners. There's a house over here. I do want to look in the house, but I also want to get a sense of what other crazy stuff we have going on over here. I think there was a spawner that just lit up. There was a zombie spawner, maybe. So let's go try to find it and break it. Maybe. Did you just spawn zombie? Yes, I see the zombie spawner now. Okay, I'm going to go take out that zombie spawner. Ouch. Alright, the zombie's going to be too slow to catch up to me, so I can run over here. Take out his spawner. I'm also going to put some light on the wall. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, if I'm down here, he chooses to pathfind this way. If I'm up here, he chooses to pathfind this way. And it's because if I'm up here, he can't find any path to me. So instead of trying to get to me, he just tries to get to the closest block that's near me because he can't find this fence. Oh, he could actually hit me from over here too, it seems like. If I stand way back here, I think he can't hit me. Now he's trying. Does he know he can hit me from there? I'm not sure. In any case, when I'm on the ground, he knows he can get to me. What if I climb back up here? Yeah, he's going to do that again. So I guess I could probably... Now I'm on the rail. The rails are kind of like interacting with this as well. This is This is going to be this entire episode. It's figuring out zombie pathfinding. If I jump up here, yep, he turns around. Oh, now he turned back. Now he turned around. Hold on. Yeah, all right. But in any case, he was like right here, and I jumped up to this ledge, and he turned around. And so I think possibly if I'm inside the fence block is basically how he views me. He decides he can no longer get to me this way, and so he wants to get to the closest block, I think is what's happening. I don't think the rails were interacting with that one. All right, what did we just pick up? Frostwalker 1, Smite 2. I have some Frostwalker boots already, but that's interesting just to get as kind of one of these random enchanted drops. Okay, in any case, I've lit up enough of this over here that I feel kind of safe. It does look like there might be an emerald there, but I'm also curious about this house, and the house is kind of behind me, and it's important to light up things that are behind you so you don't get surprised. All right. I've watched, yep, too much war to know that you should always be worried about carpet. And in this case, it was correct to be paranoid about the carpet because there was a lava and gravel trap there. So that is great. I guess we put out the lava with our water bucket, and so it became obsidian and the gravel fell on top of it. And there may or may not have been like some cobwebs there as well. All right. We'll take a look at some other things after we feel this area is safer. Got a chest that probably has loot. I don't think it's going to be trapped. It sounds like we got, I'm imagining cave spiders in here. Or outside somewhere. Where are the spiders? There's definitely spiders spawning somewhere, and so I don't like it. But I don't see a way to go further up in this house. So are they like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's a hidden chest. I like hidden chest. That seems like a secret that's not going to be trapped. That seems like a secret that I get a bonus. Yes! A bonus for finding it. What of these things do I want? Golden pickaxes are pretty cool. But yeah, they're golden tools. I don't know that I necessarily need any of. Alright. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's move on, because we seem to be spawning all the spawners, all the spiders in the world. I'm still not sure where they're at. I think I might have also left another chest still up there, and there's all these chests, but let's back off for just a moment and see where all these spiders are. There's a big spider. It does look like the house just kind of like has a pointed roof, so there might be guys like up in the roof. Alright, yeah, there are definitely a couple up there. But that doesn't seem too bad. I do have ladders on me, and right now I don't need the shovel all that much. So let's do... This will be inelegant. But let's do this. And then... Oh, I actually have an axe on me, too. I have the wind slicer, which I've hardly been using in a while. And... Alright, hotbar management makes this very slow. Because I'm not good at having multiple things in my hotbar that I'm not accustomed to having there. Alright, and here are the spiders. They're just normal spiders. Ouch. Normal spiders can still do damage to Brian. Ooh, how did that one get caught on fire? Did I hit him with Silverlight? I didn't think I hit him with Silverlight. I guess I must have. Because I can't imagine another way that a spider would randomly get set on fire. I got a little bit of light up there, and I don't think I'm spawning them right now, because I was standing down here before, and I don't think I was spawning them. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. And we'll check out the rest of the chests in this house. And we'll go from there. Oh, that's a mean place to hide these spawners. You see this? Oops, go away. I'm not even going to worry about you. You're going to burn to death, right? Okay, I was wrong. You're going to burn to death. All right. So let's... There we go. Get some more light. Kill this guy off. Get rid of the spawners. Okay. So that wasn't... It wasn't too threatening of a trap. But it was a nice way to kind of like force a bunch of extra monster spawns into the area while the player is exploring the house, I guess. So you get jumped by spiders later. But yeah, seems kind of, I don't know, on the primitive side for traps. Okay, we already just disarmed one trap down here. I'm just going to put a little bit of extra light just to be extra safe. I think it is unlikely that these would be trapped. If they are, I'm going to run out this way. Oh, wow! A clock! Kind of wondered what time of day it is. I don't know if time moves forward in this map. I'm going to remember that the clock is like at this angle of nighttime and come back and take a look at this later. Zombies pathfinding around to me. Where did he come from? I guess zombies just could have been kind of wandering from most anywhere. Just looking up to make sure there's no other ledges above me. And some chain armor. I've got the Duragold now, and so I don't know that I necessarily need any of that. The name tag was a little bit cool in there. An iron sword. I could use more of those for repairing silverlight. And an iron axe is also nice, so I'll grab that. Iron shovel. I actually, yeah, might need more iron shovels for repairing the excavators. That's nice. Torches. Great. What is it? You double click like this. My inventory is so full. Let me just take a look at all of these, and then I'll manage my inventory off camera. Okay, blocks are nice. Rails. Lots of rails if I do decide I want to build more shortcuts. Oh, and look at all this bread. Wow. That is a lot of bread, and also a lot of beetroot, which I'm not sure if that's going to be super useful to me or not. I'll consider it. Another golden apple is always welcome as well. Okay, this is a good supply chest. I'm happy with that. Oh, and I almost missed that there's some beef in here. Interesting. And some pork chops. I have to cook those up, but they'd be worth a fair amount of food. I'm going to leave them here for now. And I guess a carrot, in case like I lost track of my carrots to plant or whatever, I get another shot at planting some more carrots. All right, so that's pretty neat. And then there's one more zombie here. There was one other chest upstairs I never took a look at, wasn't there? So let's go take a look at that as well. The chests upstairs, I still expect that there could be a second trap. So let's be wary of... Oh, there's an ender chest here. Oh, wow. All right. I am offloading some good stuff. Thank you, Render. This is like the perfect spot to put an ender chest. I love it. The time on the clock has not moved. And so I think that means the daylight cycle is off on this map. And so it's just always going to be nighttime, which is convenient because it means you can always sleep. And finally, over in this room, there was a chest. Ooh, Web Slayer. Bane of Arthropods, efficiency, knockback, and unbreaking. Cool, that's a useful sword that I guess I might want in this area. Silverlight. I haven't been having that much trouble with spiders, and so I think I'm still going to use Silverlight principally. The bottom row is stuff I already had in my ender chest, but the top row is just a bunch of loot that I grabbed from some of these chests and stored away there. But now my inventory is relatively empty, or sufficiently empty that we can continue exploring. I do want to see... obviously, this is something that you see like right at the entrance. There's something green over here, and I do think it's going to be an emerald now. Actually, there's something else green I see. It is a creeper. He's walking around right there. Kablam. And kablam. Great. Creeper down. I'm going to light up a little bit over here just to make sure that enemies aren't kind of sneaking up from behind me. I just placed a torch on some gravel. A little too willy-nilly there. Okay, here we have a spawner of skeletons that did not get to spawn any skeletons. Aha. Oh, this is the entrance to the, is that going to be the lime wool dungeon, I think? I think that's the entrance to the lime wool dungeon. It's the entrance to a dungeon anyway, and I'm just not good at picking out stained glass colors on sight immediately. But I think that's going to be lime wool. Okay, so cool. There is a dungeon here to get wool. Ooh, there's also emerald blocks up there. Does that mean there's the actual emerald is going to be there? I wonder. That's interesting. I would like to find some emeralds because I don't want to go... There's a lot of emeralds that I still haven't managed to find in some of the areas that I've conquered, and I would prefer not to have it be the case that I get like most of the wools and still have like half the emeralds left to find. And so rather than go into the dungeon right now, I'm going to explore more of this area. Okay, there's a nice loot chest down there potentially, and tons of spider webs. So I might actually, okay, and I see I'm spawning spiders down there, so I might actually want the web slayer kind of thing at some point here. Let's walk around the outside of this area, make sure we don't fall down in there, because that would be kind of bad news. And then decide kind of which portion of it we want to go after. So up here, don't see any more spawners. I do see a spawner over here. Zombie probably won't chase me across the train tracks. Okay, I'm kind of going a little bit too far in one lighting run. Maybe I can do this. All right, that worked out okay. Light up a bit of that area. Let's go ahead and take out a couple of zombies and break this spawner, which I believe was a skeleton spawner. I think basically all four corners of this area had skeleton spawners. And the creeper is also a big threat that we need to get rid of. Probably going to spawn one more skeleton. Yep, I just spawned one to the left. I see it. Let's get rid of him. And there's a couple more skeletons down there that might not see me, but I wouldn't mind spending some arrows on. Okay, up here, this seems like, yeah, I was about to say, this seems like the type of place that you would hide a spawner, and I put a, one of these golden axes in my inventory just because I was thinking, since I found that chest full of all the golden tools, and I just had to dig on the roof of the house, I was like, I might as well have an axe on me just in case I need to dig some more of the wood. And so that will help me expose any more spawners that are like that. And yeah, I'm happy to just kind of like use up this golden axe. It's not that valuable of a tool. It's meant to be used, so I will use it. Fairly certain I can just run past over here and do a lighting run and get back to where things are already well lit. That seems effective. This zombie, he's got a iron sword, and that might actually deal some damage to me. So let's be a little bit more cautious taking that guy out. And it looks like there's a little upstairs kind of area over here. Oh gosh, a lot of creepers. So let's use the bow on these guys as well. Fortunately, the rails, once again, are interfering with their pathfinding. We got a rare drop from a creeper of some TNT. I was looking at the base the last time I was there, and I have like, yikes! I have, I think, like 7 stacks of gunpowder at this point. And so that's more than a stack of TNT that I could make if I choose to make it at some point. I don't have like an immediate reason to do that, but this is a long enough map that at some point, even if I don't find a good reason to use the TNT, I expect I will get bored at some point and just want to blow something up. And so that's good. And so I have been continuing to kind of like store and hoard all my gunpowder. As of okay, yeah. Might need to use this. Oh no! Wow, my armor's getting good. That is definitely the result of good armor, because that was a relatively okay. There's a lot of emeralds around here. It seems like just randomly scattered. Not sure why that is. Do we need to get an emerald block for the monument that's kind of separate from the enchanted emeralds that are kind of like the bonus goal? Maybe that's what that's about. I should pay a little bit more attention to what's actually in the monument that we need to get in this map, because I don't actually know. All right. Took a little bit of damage there, but I'm fairly confident with my armor and that I wasn't going to get overrun by mobs. So that was not a problem. There were a bunch of creeper spawners and things over there. We need to take those out. Oh, and there's a cave spider who's managed to find his way over. I didn't notice where the cave spiders are actually spawning from. They might be down in the pit, or it might have been the area that I just passed. And the cave spiders, I've got enough protection now that the damage over time from the poison is not a huge threat, but it's still more of a threat than most of the other mobs are going to present. And so I should still be wary of that. But let's see if we can circle back around through here. I think I got the only spawner that was in this little thingy. What is the word for... I've seen this kind of structure in a bunch of mines in Minecraft. And I imagine it's based on a structure in like real mines. It's like a kind of dumbwaiter elevator or something. I'm not exactly sure. This hanging down thing, and that's like holding the big loot chest in the center. I don't know what to call that thing. I have noticed the iron. That, I was a little distracted when I first noticed it because there was a creeper blowing up in my face. But I did notice the iron, and I am happy that it's there, and now I'm going to run down here and collect some of it that the creeper exploded. Exploded in kind of, the mining sense as opposed to the destroying sense. How much iron did I just pick up? 4 pieces, that's good. And let's go ahead and top things off. But yeah, I'm taking, my usual kind of patient approach to this area. I have been a little bit sloppy in a couple of spots, but my armor is making up for that. And so that's working for me right now. I think we got all the spawners in here, except there might be still more over here. Oh, this actually like opens up into another kind of cavey area. All right. Let's take out, try to create a record. No, let's not get silly here. If I get too full of myself, that's when I've gotten into trouble in the past. Called an area easy, and then like I died like 15 seconds later. So let's not start doing that. I'm spawning spiders to my left. I did just pick up an enchanted book from the zombie, so we'll check out what that is in just a moment. And I think over here, there's a lot of gravel here, so I'm not going to stand right here. And there's kind of a, ooh, there's a ledge up here, and it almost looks like, is there another? No, there's not like another area up there. I think there's a zombie somewhere over here, but I think I'm reasonably safe to, ooh, that is a good enchanted book. That gives me a lot of options, and protection too is one of those options. And so that's the most likely thing I'm going to use that enchanted book on. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now I think we've lit up the outside of this area, and so we could start working our way towards the center and the loot that's in here. I can see there's a spawner on top, and presumably there'll be one on the bottom. However, I also think that whatever loot is there is going to be underwhelming because this is kind of an early area. And so I think I'm not going to go after that loot right now. Instead, don't want to go in the dungeon either. I think if I wanted to pick a direction that was most likely to get me to another transition area into a different area, I think it would be over in this direction. And so I'm actually going to take the path out in this direction and explore a little bit further this way, because I would like to find an entrance to another area more than anything, like more than getting a wool or more than getting some more good loot right now. Because I just want to, I'll feel better about my overall, I don't know, chances on the map and what to expect once I've kind of found all of the different areas and kind of know the names of all the areas on the map, because then I'll have a sense of the entire scope of the map, as well as, if any of the later areas, like I can, go 5 minutes into them and just see how crazy the mobs get, or how large the areas seem to get, because I don't know if the areas are going to get larger. We had some really large areas right at the start of the map, such as the Drizzled Cove, which was very early on. And I really want to get a sense of the scope of the map more than almost anything else. Unbreaking 1, that's also a very nice book to get. I need to drop off some crap that I don't need, but that'll only take a moment, just to free up some inventory slots. And we can continue moving. So basically that's still my priorities. Previously I had that priority because I was trying to get deeper into the map and get more iron. I'm getting more iron now, and I have more iron available. I don't immediately need it for anything anymore, thanks to the Duragold. So I'm happy about that. So yeah, now my principal kind of like overarching goal is basically just to find new areas and learn the entire scope of the map. And then it will be easy to come back and conquer various areas. I think I might have seen, no, I thought I might have seen a spawner up in the wall over here as well. All right, I'm moving a little bit more quickly than I've been moving in other areas, which could be dangerous, but it also means we can make progress faster, which is a good thing. And yeah, as I said earlier, this seems like it's kind of an easier, earlier area. And so long as I don't get myself blown up in a trap or something like stuck in an unexpected cobweb that then a creeper, comes up and gives me a hug, I think those are the only things that can kill me. I think I'm less likely to get overwhelmed by mobs in this area based on the early area and based on how good my armor is getting. And yeah, being overwhelmed by mobs is the major way that I've died so far in this map. Okay, this is suspicious. Okay, there is a spawner here. It's probably cave spiders. I didn't even get a good look. Ooh, I just heard a witch. Hold on. Could just be a natural spawn, but it could also be the start of something new. Always be wary of changes. Take out a fair number of cobwebs over that way. Let's take out these webs as well. And did I just hear a skeleton shooting at me? I guess not. Is there anything up there? No. Okay, which of these two directions do I want to go? I think this one, because the webs are a little bit of a change. So let's investigate this way. And just with the internal clock I have going in my head, we're probably nearing the end of an episode. So I should probably try to figure out a place to wrap things up. Yeah, this is still branching out in a lot of different directions. And at some point we came at this area from the Forsaken Cliffs, and there was like a big high ceiling that should open up above me, I think, because we were kind of looking down from the top of the abandoned mines, I think, when we were here before from the back entrance. I've kind of lost track of where... Okay, hello. Where exactly that might be in terms of the 3D space. But I think it'll be somewhere maybe not too far from here, and so maybe we'll see that. Oh, alright, I hear a lot of skeletons there, but I can't really see them because it's a little bit too dark. Let's just take a random shot. That did not hit anybody. That did not hit anybody. Even if I can't see the skeletons, I can usually see if I'm hitting them because they kind of like light up and turn red in the distance when they take damage. I think what I'm going to do right now, actually, I've almost never done this, but is close off this area, just so they're less likely to shoot at me. I just want to get a peek in here and see if this looks like it might be going upwards at all. It does not, and it looks like it's actually just going to circle around somewhere I've been. The number of webs here. Okay, there is another spawner. Oops. There we go. Spawner down. I see. It's guarding a loot chest. We'll take a peek at this loot chest, and I think that might be a good place to call it for today. Let's also be extremely wary of traps. Was there a spider spawner hidden over here as well? Probably. Yes, I can see it going, but I think it's well enough lit. Yeah, let's not rely on that. Is it sitting on gravel? It might be. I don't really have a good way to run away if this is a trap. Alright, we're okay. Great. Let's check what's inside this chest, and then I think we'll call it. Nothing too amazing. Does give me some more of this. Some beetroot stew might be good. Some more arrows are always welcome. Alright, so yeah, kind of making some progress through this area. It's nothing too exciting right now, but I'm sure there's going to be some other exciting things. I will go ahead and call it here. I hope, as always, that you guys are having a great day, and I look forward to finding new areas in this map. Hopefully there is one available somewhere through the abandoned mines. We'll find out next time. Bye-bye.